this messed everybody's head up. Former DNC interim chair Donna Brazile, who will be here on Tuesday, by the way, just wrote a bombshell book claiming that a year before Hillary Clinton clinched the nomination, her campaign agreed to bail out the bankrupt DNC in exchange for day-to-day control over operations. So Bernie Sanders was basically ignored.
By the Democratic
National
Committee.
by the DNC.
Yes, which was a bad thing. Was a very bad thing. And, you know, Donna Brazile has just handed a lovely gift to Trump right now with this revelation of the DNC. And it's not a pretty picture. It's not. It's a nasty side. It's not criminal. It's unethical, maybe, but it's not criminal, and it's not going to distract from the Mueller investigation, in case you're wondering, Donald. But it was bad, and it just shows you that politics on both sides have to be. They need a purge. Yeah. They need to be totally vomited out and start new.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I mean, you know, I think it's common knowledge. My best friend, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, was the DNC secretary during this time. And Donna Brazile is also a very good friend of mine. So I believe Donna. I'm not finished reading her book, but I have reached out to her. And I believe Donna when she says this is what she found, because she's a pretty forthright person. And something has got to change. I mean, not only did they perhaps ignore Bernie, if you remember during the campaign, Sanders' campaign was concerned that the early primary debate schedule was very limited against his favor.
He spoke out about it.
Yeah, he said that party money was used for Clinton fundraising and not for his fundraising, and that briefly they cut off Sanders' access to the party voter file shortly before the New Hampshire primary. I mean, if you want to win, you win fair and square. You don't play these kinds of games, and I was really disgusted and disappointed.
Well, and it feeds into so many of her people that didn't like her, that said there was something they couldn't trust, and that you know, there was something going on here. It kind of disappointed me, because when I read this, I haven't defended that part, but a part of me thought there's no way that all went on. And then you read it and you're like, is there anything else?
Depressing.
But it also makes you more cynical about the political process. This is a breakdown in our democracy at the very basic level. And I've always liked Donna Brazile. I was shocked when it came out that she had passed along a debate question early onto Hillary Clinton's campaign before it happened. These are things that shock me. I always thought her to be a really good, ethical person in politics.
She was fired for that.
Trust me, yes, she was, which isn't that hard to find, or is
and we should ask her
hard
about
to
that
find.
on Tuesday.
But I will say that for whatever you're saying about the mockery of the Republican primaries, and God knows I had my issues with a lot of it, the RNC wasn't putting their hand in the bag trying to get Trump elected. He was the last candidate the establishment of the Republican Party wanted. So the RNC wasn't rigging the game to get Trump elected, which is something I think now showcases.
The Russians were rigging the game.
That's the difference.
But if you're
that is the difference.
First of all, not everything goes back to Mueller and Russia. This is a bad day for you guys. You have Elizabeth Warren coming out, the great new hope for the Democratic Party, saying that this was rigged in order for Hillary Clinton, when you have the next possible nominee for your party saying that.
Yeah, all roads lead to the Kremlin.
My comment was less about the mockery of the Republican primaries.
This has nothing to do with Russia. The DNC's problem right now has nothing to do with Russia.
What I was saying is more that when you were saying this is the world we live in, I said that's sad, because as a voter who wants to participate in my democracy, I watched these primaries and I watched these debates to get some information, to be able to inform myself about what these... So I was saying the fact that this is the new reality is scary, because to make an informed decision as a voter, I need to have something to watch.
But what's worse, a bad primary debate or a rigged election?
All of it is worse.
Bad.
There's no bad or worse. The really terrible thing about all of this is, you know, people do what they do to do this stuff. What I don't understand is, why did everybody wait?
Yes. That is a valid point.
Why did everybody wait to tell this information?
You mean Donna Brazile?
No, the other people say they knew. Other people say, well, I was aware of this. And so, for me, you know, why are you pursing your lips at me?
When you say other people knew, when you say other people knew about this
other
DNC
people had
stuff,
to have known some of this, because like if Robbie Mook was writing emails to
Donna,
like contracts
I think
and things, then
what I've read in Donna's book is that Debbie Wasserman Schultz knew.
Well,
but that no one else knew.
Well, but
there's no way.
You have to have more players.
DNC leadership didn't know, she says. But we'll ask her about it on Tuesday.
But if they made a deal,
Yep.
Who made the deal? Was
Debbie.
it just Debbie by herself? Nobody knew?
Apparently
I
so.
don't buy that. And why then does Elizabeth Warren sort of say, well, I got it. I get it.
I think
this
she got it
happened.
now. But that's those
But
are
my
some of the
point
questions
is,
we have.
other people, whoever it is, Donna Brazile, whoever it is, why'd you wait?
And come on, don't be naive.
You know what I mean?
The DNC
I mean-
convention, I mean, that was all everyone was talking about, that this is a rigged game for Hillary, Bernie supporters.
But you know, I'm sorry, if you care about what we do and you have this information and you hold it, I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm mad that you held it. And whoever else knew, whoever it is, I'm mad at you. Just like I'm mad at these people who went to Russia to do all this. I'm mad because that's not how we do stuff.
Yeah.
That's not how we do stuff. And if you're going to bitch and moan about young people and then this is how you treat them, how are they supposed to know what we're supposed to be looking at as a nation? How are they supposed to know when you can't get a straight answer from either side? It's caca.
Well, that's why Bernie was mad. Bernie was mad, and for good reason. Bernie was angry. And you know what?
And I think they saw Bernie
Hindsight
as...
is 20/20, but maybe Bernie could have won because he had very similar shtick
You know what?
to Trump, but on the other side.
I know, but shtick doesn't make it. As
Well,
we're seeing,
well-
shtick is starting to really get sticky.
I'm just talking about
made it
getting
into the
elected.
White House.
It got into the White House.
But the most
Yeah.
important point Whoopi's making is millennials, the cynicism and the lack of wanting to be involved in any capacity at all in our democratic process, voting, etc. This gives people another reason to think the system is rigged. Why should I be
Maybe they
involved
need
at
to
all?
take money out of politics, and then you'll see some
Well,
good
they
people
did at
coming
that.
out.
Did
They had it that way.
They had it that
but there
way,
was
and
a
then
big
it was-
Republican push
Yes.
for campaign finance, and
Yes.
that's where we went
And
wrong.
that-
When
and
the
that's
Republican
what-
push
when we-
to
yeah.
change campaign
Not all
finance
Republicans.
laws.
My father was the
that
architect of
yeah.
that bill, but all
that
right.
was- that
Can I
was-
ask a quick
that was
question
where
before
we
we
went
go?
wrong.
I have a question, though, for you about the money. The RNC is paying about $500,000 in legal fees for Trump Jr. and Trump. What about that?
What
Is
Whoopi's
that okay?
saying is completely valid. It is on both sides. I'm not negating that, but I'm saying for us to sit here and sort of say that it's not on both sides is obviously
Crazy.
false.
But it's still a false equivalency because one is about a foreign government. Let us not forget that.
Yeah.
But if I've
It's
been-
all crap.
I don't want to
It's all
relitigate the
crap. When
dossier.
it all lives in, when it lives this way, it's all crap. When we can't defend what happened, there's an issue. And the other thing I just want to say, which is important, is young people, there's a reason you should be involved in the vote. There's a reason. Because if you don't do it, it's not going to get done because we're getting older. And this is going to be yours, and you better take care of it. You know? People died for the right to be able to do this. We'll be
A lot of
back.
women died.